How are we doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Getting Jiggy With It. I'm Will, and today we're going to open up some additional Marvel Champions card pack thing, expansion things. Hero pack. That's what we're doing. So if you saw our previous gameplay against the Green Goblin, Avadi did play as Miss Marvel. So we're just going to go ahead and go through. We're kind of doing this out of what normally I unbox before we do this, but I got so much of this at one time. Never got a chance to unbox it, so we're going to slowly be unboxing these over the following weeks, days. I don't know how often I'm going to upload these. So if you want to see these cards and kind of get an idea of what they play like, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell notification to know when these go live. Also, if you want to see us play any of the decks that we open, same thing. Subscribe, bell notification. That way you can actually watch us play these decks. If there's any deck you want to see us sooner than later, just let us know down in the comments and I'll try to get that video uploaded sooner. So this is Miss Marvel. So Miss Marvel has a big sticker on the back from Amazon. Hello, Amazon. Thank you for putting a big sticker on the back of my thing. But 14 plus. Playtime, of course, does not matter on a hero pack or player count because uno. The playtime is based off of the villain scenarios. So what all do we have under the door? So under door number 1, of course, we have the dividers. This way we can put them in the core box. If you want to watch or see what these are, I go over in detail in the core box unboxing. So after you're done watching this, go watch that. You also get a nice little poster in here. I don't know if there is a way to really get rid of creases to make this more poster-like. But if you can find a way, if you guys know a way, let me know down in the comments. And of course, you can laminate this. But it does give you an idea of the deck, a little history, and then says what she is, Miss Marvel Protection. So Miss Marvel uses her stretching powers to protect people. So there we go. I don't know if I should read flavor text or not. It kind of just adds to the time of the video. I don't know, you guys want me to read flavor text? Yeah, let me know down in the comments. With that said, let's go ahead and get through the cards that come in the Miss Marvel deck. So of course, Miss Marvel starts out as Kamala Khan before she was changed into an human by the Terrigen Mist. So she has a 5 recovery, alter ego of course, teen spirit action. She can discard cards from the top of your deck until you find a Miss Marvel card, then add that card to your hand, limit 1 per round. Hand size of 6, hit points of 10. Now this is nice, to let you get some cards out, basically so you can try to get those upgrades. And I think that's where when me and Audrey were playing this, we didn't focus on her upgrades. We had never played her before. Hopefully before we try to play something again, we at least get one test plan for you guys. That way it's not an hour-and-a-half video. But yeah, so I could see the benefit and the danger because, of course, you run out of cards. You have to take an extra event card. No, they're not event cards. I keep calling them event cards. You got to take an extra bad card to you. And then she's not very strong. She's 1/1/1, and that's because her upgrades are what make her powerful. Her upgrades allow her thwarts to be stronger, her attacks to be stronger, and so forth. The other thing is, because of her morphogenetics, she can take those attack, thwarts, and defenses back into her hand instead of using her to attack. That means you basically get that card to keep going back and forth, back and forth. You got your upgrades already out. You're going to be doing that much damage, basically 2 turns in a row. For ally, she has Red Dagger. Red Dagger is defeated. You get to spend 2 resources of different types. You deal 2 damage to the enemy, and then he comes back to your hand. So a lot of recycling in the hands. 2/2 for his ability. Big hands, deal 4 damage to an enemy. That's pretty good. Not the strongest, but again, if you combine that with her upgrade, that's going to get more powerful. Sneak by removes 3 thwart. Same thing. She has an upgrade that will improve this. We'll get to that card in a minute. Wiggle Room. Defense, when you would take any amount of damage, prevent 3 and draw a card. Her brother, so Amir Khan, so alter ego, you get to exhaust Amir and place 1 card from your discard on the bottom and then draw a card. So again, a lot of draw action, but this is a good way to get cards back into your deck so you don't deck out. Of course, you want to use her friends when she's an alter ego before you flip her back over. Just get them all done. Bruno allows her to exhaust him to get 1 card from your hand face down here. And then when you exhaust him, you get to add those 3 cards to your hand. So it's a good way for you to cycle through cards that you may not necessarily need and save them for later. So say you want to save up your attacks. Something we could have done, right? We could have saved those attacks when we were doing Green Goblin and then been able to use them later. Nikia, when you exhaust Nikia, you reduce the cost of the next thing you play by 1, so she's really helpful. And then here are those upgrades. So exhausting her armor gives her 1 wild resource. That's excellent. This here increases the attack by 2. This here increases her thwart by 2. So that's why I said you get those 2 upgrades out. All of her other attacks are great, do more damage, and then you exhaust her to bring those cards right back into your hand, right? Nova is one of her allies, so they are putting in with the protection deck. So protection is based around preventing damage or protecting your allies. Nova is her ally, her friend from, of course, when she first was in the Avengers, and then they moved over and Nova over to the Champions. New Champions? I don't know if they called it New Champions or just Champions. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far in the comic books. I'm still when they're Avengers and they're messing things up because they're still kids, right? But he basically initiates attack. You get to spend a resource to do 2 damage. So again, doing damage back to them. When revealed, you basically, instead of getting a Treachery, you get attack. So kind of similar to Spider-Man. He had something similar to that. Preemptive Strike, when you would see a boost, you cancel it and you do that amount of damage for the boost. Tackle, this was really nice. You basically stun the enemy, and if you used a punch, I forget the name of these resources, I just call it the punch resource, the attack resource, the aggression resource, the punchy resource. You get to also do 3 damage to the enemy. So you're stunning them, which is a good, defensive move, plus then you're going to actually do some damage. Power Protection is the same as all the decks, they all have this. It basically counts as 2 resources when you play a protection card. Energy Barrier gives you basically 3 reflects where you can stop 3 damage and then reflect that damage back to your opponent. Lockjaw is really nice. I mean, he's 4. He takes 2 damage per hit, so he's really a 1-hit or a 2-hit wonder because he's only got 4 hit points. But you can play him back from the discard pile. A lot of people are looking at people like Star-Lord, which has the ability to reduce the cost, maybe having him added to their deck. But the problem is all of those say from your hand. So don't think they're going to add an errata. You say tomato, I say tomato. But, something you can look at doing. Your standard energy, double energy cards. Avengers Mansion allows you to draw cards. Endurance, play under it, you get 3 more hit points. Very good for a protection class because you're going to be taking a lot of damage. Now, of course, you can only play 1 of those. They give you 3, so you could play 1 on your colleagues that are playing with you. So obviously, could have played that to me or just use it as a resource, right? Enhanced Reflexes. This is kind of like Spider-Man's web shooters, right? You get 3 extra energies that you can use, so she gets 3 of those. And then her obligation, Home by Dawn, because she is a kid. Mama says, come home by dawn, so that is her interrupt. Her side scheme that you would have to add to the villain's deck if you get the Nemesis. Discard the top card of the player's deck for each ally and persona support in play. So yeah, the more people she has friends, the more she's going to have to discard. And then it does add 1 additional, I'm just going to say event card because my mind drew a blank earlier and it's not going to come back to me. Her Nemesis is Thomas Edison because he was the first one that she fought in the comics. And then you do have Edison's giant robot. That is huge. That would take 1 web kick from Spider-Man to knock that out. Kamala doesn't have anything in her deck to knock that out in 1 hit. Harvest, so this is what was happening. He was trying to take the energy from people. And then those are the 2 Treachery cards. Now, some of the older decks, now the newer ones don't seem to have this, but the older decks had this stop. Why? Because they actually gave you additional cards that you can then throw into other decks, right? I guess they feel like they've gotten to a point where they've got enough cards for now. Maybe if they come out with some new cool cards, they'll do this with future heroes. Actually, I'm going to be opening up the Guardians of the Galaxy here next. Not in this video, but in another video. So subscribe so you can watch them. I think they had some of the extra cards as well. I think it was Phase 2 that didn't. So you have melee, deal 3 damage to an enemy, deal 3 damage to another enemy. So that's really nice. You're basically doing 6 damage for 3. That seems like a good thing to add. So you get 3 of those. Let's not put those on top of Kamala Khan or Miss Marvel. Concussive Blow. Confuse an enemy if you paid for this card using a fighting resource. Deal 3 damage to that enemy. So confuse and damage. So very similar to her stun, right? That's confuse instead of stun. And then morale boost. Choose a hero until the end of the round. That hero gets +1 of everything. That's not too bad. And then downtime. You get Daredevil and Luke Cage just chilling out, having their lunch break with a Spider-Man lunchbox. I never even noticed that. It's a Spider-Man lunchbox. Play under any player's control. You get +2 recovery. So, I don't know about the +2 recovery. I guess it depends. I haven't seen the other decks, so if you don't have a really good healing, that might actually come in pretty handy. There we go, guys. That is the Miss Marvel deck. If you're interested, like I said, in watching any more of our gameplay with these heroes, or seeing any more of these unboxings, make sure you hit that subscribe and bell notification to know when our videos go up or when we go live. Until next time, guys. Peace.